Derby, who's ready to go for a walk? You ready? Here we go. So the changes that George Lucas made to his 1977 masterpiece, Star Wars, now known as Episode 4, A New Hope, have been controversial. And it's easy to understand why. There were scenes that he changed, like whether Han or Greedo shot first, the Jabba the Hutt scene, that radically changed the storyline, and it was also inconsistent with Lucas's original characterizations. I've even heard it argued that minor changes, such as the slapstick scenes involving the aliens before Han and Obi-Wan reach Mos Eisley, take away the air of mystery and danger that was created by the original 77 release. But what about the changes that were made to The Empire Strikes Back, the movie that was released in 1980? So let me offer for you my take on some of the changes that were made to The Empire Strikes Back. The weird thing about George Lucas is that, well, he just kept making the changes. He was never satisfied. He claimed that the changes were just to make the film live up to his original vision, and that the technology just caught up to him. He originally made changes in 1997 to the special edition releases, but he also made changes in subsequent video releases, such as the 2011 release. And his changes brings up a really interesting ethical issue. If you are the owner and creator of a masterpiece, do you truly have the right to keep making changes after that masterpiece has been revealed to the public? It's kind of like changing the past. Imagine if Citizen Kane or Gone with the Wind or Casablanca had been changed after the film was originally released in the theaters. While the changes that Lucas made did showcase advancements in special effects, some of them really did alter the plot, the feel, and the tone of the original works. So without further ado, let's look at some of the changes that Lucas made to The Empire Strikes Back. Let's start with the Wampa scene on Hoth. This is where Luke was knocked off his tauntaun and then woke up after being knocked unconscious in the cave where the Wampa had already eaten his tauntaun. We didn't get to see much of the Wampa. We saw his hand knocking Luke off at the tauntaun.
Hey, what's the matter? You smell something?
And there was this scene when the Wampa came after Luke in the cave. But Lucas added some really clear scenes of the Wampa. We now see the Wampa still feasting on the tauntaun, and we see the Wampa reeling in pain and anger after having his arm lopped off. And yeah, it's neat to see the Wampa in his full glory. If we're just considering the cinematography, these are really nice scenes, and they don't really detract from the main plot. But what about the visual storytelling? There was kind of a mystery involved when we only got these small glimpses of the Wampa. Kind of like Jaws, when we really didn't see the shark until close to the end of the film. By denying the audience a view of the monster, Lucas built up the suspense, the feeling of fear, the anticipation, and to some degree, that's lost when you just show the Wampa actually eating the tauntaun. I also have a slight problem with seeing the Wampa after his arm has been sliced off by the lightsaber. It becomes one of morality. He's just a carnivore. He's trying to survive in a harsh environment. Luke and the tauntaun just presented to the Wampa a convenient meal on a rough planet. I mean, we know Hoth is an ice ball that is pretty much devoid of life. It's a harsh environment, and finding something to eat is, well, difficult. So now this poor Wampa, who, he's not evil, he's not bad, he's lost an arm, And now it's all the more difficult to survive in such a harsh environment where food is so scarce. In a way, it kind of detracts from the whole way that the Jedi are characterized. After all living things are part of the Force. Aren't Jedi supposed to be in tune with other living beings? Couldn't Luke have just communicated with the Wampa? And maybe it's an issue that he's not fully trained right now, but it still creates that problem for me. Now the thing is, that problem's there whether you have that new scene or whether you have it as it was presented back in 1980. Luke cuts the arm off the Wampa. Either way, the Wampa is disabled and at a disadvantage in the natural environment. So that change to the film doesn't really impact the overall plot or development of the Jedi or the Force. So the next major change? Darth Vader has to move his Super Star Destroyer out of the asteroid field so he can have a clear transmission in order to communicate with the Emperor.
What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
I have felt it.
We have a new enemy, Luke Skywalker.
Yes, my master.
He could destroy us.
He's just a boy. Obi-Wan can no longer help him.
The Force is strong with him. The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally.
Yes. He would be a great asset. Can it be done?
He will join us or die, master.
In the original, the Emperor simply referred to the son of Skywalker. In the changes,
What is thy bidding, my master?
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
I have felt it.
We have a new enemy. The young rebel who destroyed the Death Star. I have no doubt this boy is the offspring of Anakin Skywalker.
How is that possible?
Search your feelings, Lord Vader. You will know it to be true. He could destroy us.
He's just a boy. Obi-Wan can no longer help him.
The Force is strong with him. The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally.
Yes, he would be a great asset. Can it be done?
He will join us or die, master.
the Emperor referred to the fact that this rebel had destroyed the Death Star. How exactly the Emperor knew that, I'm not sure. I don't know if they had a sort of galactic CNN and Luke gave an interview. Maybe the Emperor saw it through the Force. In both instances, the Emperor let it be known that he knew it was the son of Skywalker. It was just clarified that he knew it was the son of Anakin Skywalker. And in neither case is it spoiled that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. So if you're choosing to watch Star Wars for the first time, and you choose to watch it the way they were released in the theater, you might still get the effect of the original reveal when Darth Vader said,
No, I am your father.
Aesthetically, the original Emperor was really weird looking. He had those weird eyes going on. I actually think this change was a good one. We incorporated the actor who eventually went on to play the Emperor, and the minor dialogue changes, they kept the feel of the original without giving away too much information. Next, let's talk about Cloud City itself. Lucas added a whole bunch of new scenes that gave us a good glimpse into Cloud City on the planet of Bespin. We got new aerial shots. Lucas cut out windows in the hallway.
Attention, this is Lando Calrissian. The Empire has taken control of the city. I advise everyone to leave before more Imperial troops arrive. Attention, this is Lando Calrissian. Attention. The Empire's taking control of the city. I advise everyone to leave.
And through those windows, we could see the outside of Cloud City. Come on, Derp. Good boy. And I do have to say, these scenes were far more aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, they made the film a little bit longer, but in the original, Cloud City was really a sterile location. The interior was all white and really rather boring.
Arthur, where have you been? Wait, turn round, you bully!
The addition of these scenes where we can see the outside of the city, they were beautiful. They added a vibrance and color that was absent in the original release. And again, they didn't affect the overall plot or character development. Then there were the changes to Boba Fett's voice.
Disintegrations.
As you wish.
Lord Vader. You may take Captain Solo to Jabba the Hutt after I have Skywalker.
He's no good to me dead.
He will not be permanently damaged.
What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
The Empire.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold. As you wish.
Lord Vader.
He's no good to me dead. What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
The Empire will.
Put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
These are changes that were really easy to make. Boba Fett wore a helmet the entire time that covered his face, so you didn't have to worry about syncing up the lips of the words. And that's all that was added. The voice of the new actor who played Jango Fett, as well as all the clones in the Clone Wars and Revenge of the Sith. And of course we know Boba Fett is a clone of Jango Fett, one that Jango Fett treated as his son. So again, these changes made sense, and they didn't change the characterization or plot development. Now let's talk about the way Vader left Cloud City. In the 1980 release, all we saw was Vader say,
Bring my shuttle.
In the changes, we hear Vader tell the Imperial officers,
Alert my Star Destroyer to prepare for my arrival.
We then have these beautiful shots of Vader's shuttle leaving Cloud City and then arriving at the Star Destroyer. Aesthetically, they're very much pleasing. Then he arrives at the Star Destroyer and a small contingency of stormtroopers and officers greet him. It's a minor change. I like the aesthetics, but I think the change in the characterization is significant. In the original, you can tell Vader's angry, and he's angry with himself because he's the one who failed. So you can tell he's saying, I don't want to talk about it. So, just like all of us, when we get mad at ourselves, very short, curt responses. Bring my shuttle. And then when we're left with that, I think it emphasized what a lonely life Darth Vader was leading. Adding more lines detracts a little bit from that characterization. It also slightly detracts from the loneliness. I mean, nobody talked to him when he got to the Star Destroyer, but he still had a contingent that was waiting for him. Some minor changes. When Han is going through the asteroid field and looking for a place to hide the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, this is suicide!
There, that looks pretty good.
They added a line from 3PO of, there's no place to land.
Oh, this is suicide! There's nowhere to go.
There, that looks pretty good.
Duh, we knew that. In fact, I think this is a violation of a fundamental rule of visual storytelling. That is, show, don't tell. We already saw that our heroes were in trouble and had a hard time finding a place to hide. We didn't need 3PO confirming it. And finally, we have a really odd change. In the pivotal, climactic scene where Vader reveals that he's Luke's father, they removed the echoes.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
Not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
No.
not true. That's impossible!
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No!
I mean, it doesn't really seem to make sense. Luke and Vader were in a big, cavernous area in the interior of Cloud City. Of course there'd be an echo. Now maybe Lucas thought that the echo took away from the clarity of the lines. Personally, I don't believe that. I heard it clearly for the 17 years that I was listening to it before the special edition, so I didn't like this particular change. All told, the changes made to The Empire Strikes Back were far less significant than the changes that were made to the original Star Wars. And that's why you don't really hear much about these changes. Come on. They're far less controversial than the changes made to the 1977 Star Wars. But there's still a big issue that bothers me. Lucas has essentially denied us access to the way The Empire Strikes Back appeared when it came out in theaters in 1980. And as an artist, he may have a right to make the changes he did, but I don't think he has the right to mess with everyone's memory. In general, I wouldn't have these problems if George Lucas had just released both versions and let them exist side by side, so fans could make the ultimate decision of which version they prefer. And in the end, Lucas didn't do that. And that is generally my problem with the changes that Lucas made post-release. Okay, boy, we're home. Come here. Who wants a treat? Good boy. My name's Bill Kovatch. I'm the creator and primary contributor to the dantooinefreepress. So I'm fighting cancer, and I'm also disabled. If you feel generous enough to make a small one-time donation, you can do so through PayPal. I'll have instructions in the description below. A non-tax deductible donation will go to a special needs trust set up for my benefit that will help pay my expenses. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel and give us a like. Let us know in the comments below what topics you would like to see in the future. And hit that bell button if you would like to receive notification of whenever we release a new video.